Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this video we will discuss about the basic concepts of OOPS. In my last video we had discussed about the features of Java. Now we will discuss one of the feature in detail, that is OOPS concept. So now let us start. The basic concepts of OOPS are object, class, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction, and inheritance. So now let us discuss about what is the class. Collection of objects is called class. It is a logical entity. Java codes are defined in a class. A class has methods and variables. A class can be defined as a template or blueprint that describes the behavior or state that the object of its type support. Now let us discuss about the types of variable a class contains. It contains local variables, instance variable, and class variables. Local variables are defined inside methods, constructor, and blocks. This variable will be declared and initialized within the method, and the variable will be destroyed when the method is completed. Instance variables are variables within a class but outside any method. These variables are initialized when the class is initiated. Class variables are variables declared within a class. Outside any method, we can declare it with a static keyword. For example, if you had a class called expensive cars, it could have objects like Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, etc. Price or speed can be the properties of these cars, while driving, reverse, braking, etc. can be performed as the methods of this class. Now, let us understand it by a practical example. Here, dog is in class. Breed, age, color are the properties of this class, while barking, hungry, sleeping are the methods of this class. Now, let us see what is an object. An object is a real-world entity that has state and behavior. Pen, table, book, fan are the objects. To understand it more clearly, let us consider an example of a dog. Dog has states like color, name, breed, as well as behaviors are wagging the tail, barking, eating, etc. An object is an instance of a class. An object is created using new keyword. Let us understand it by a practical example. Here, as shown here, there is a class puppy and there is a constructor which has one parameter called name. Now, in the main method, we create an object with a new keyword and we print that object. So, here the output will be the dog name is Tuffy. So now, let us discuss about what is polymorphism. The word itself says its meaning. Poly means many and morphism means form. So, polymorphism means many forms. Polymorphism refers to the ability of a variable, object, or a function to take on multiple forms. A person at the same time can have different characteristics, like a man at the same time is a father, husband, and employee. So, the same person possesses different behavior in different situations. This is called polymorphism. Now, let us discuss about the type of polymorphism. Types of polymorphism are compile-time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Compile-time polymorphism is also known as static binding, and runtime polymorphism is known as dynamic binding. Compile-time polymorphism contains two things, that is, method overloading and operator overloading, while runtime polymorphism contains method overriding. We can perform polymorphism in Java by method overloading and method overriding. Now, let us see by an example of polymorphism. Shape contains different types like circle, triangle, rectangle, etc. But all the three are called shapes. Now, let us see what is encapsulation. Encapsulation is also known as data hiding. Encapsulation in Java is a mechanism of wrapping data, that is, variable and methods, together as a single unit. Encapsulation can be achieved by declaring all the variables in a class as private and writing public methods in a class to set and get the values of variables. Here we have to set and get the values by setter and getter properties. In an object-oriented programming concept, the variables of a class are always hidden from other classes. It can only be accessed using the methods of their current class. For example, in school, a student cannot exist without a class. Okay, so now we will discuss what is abstraction. Abstraction is a technique that hides implementation details and show only whatever is necessary. It is a technique of creating new data types that is suited for a specific application. For example, while driving a car, you do not have to be concerned with its internal working. Here, you just need to concern about parts like steering wheel, gears, accelerator, etc. Data abstraction may also be defined as a process of identifying only the required characteristic of an object and ignoring the irrelevant details. Now, let us see the ways to achieve abstraction. There are two ways to achieve abstraction, that is, by abstract class and by interface. Abstract class in Java. A class which is declared as abstract is known as an abstract class. It can be written as abstract class A. The rules for the abstract class are as defined. An abstract class must be declared with an abstract keyword. It can have abstract and non-abstract methods. It cannot be initiated. It can have constructor and static method also. It can have final methods which will force the subclass not to change the body of the method. Okay, now let us see what is abstract method in Java. A method which is declared as abstract and does not have implementation is known as an abstract method. You have to place the abstract keyword before the method name in method declaration. An abstract method contains a method signature but no method body. Example of abstract method is abstract word example. We can declare it by this. Declaring a method as abstract has two consequences. The class containing it must be declared as abstract, and any class inheriting the current class must either override the abstract method or declare itself as abstract. Okay, now let us see what is inheritance. Inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behavior of the parent object. The idea behind inheritance in Java is that you can create new classes that are built upon existing classes. When you inherit from an existing class, you can reuse methods and fields of the parent class. Now, let us see why we use inheritance in Java. We use inheritance in Java for method overloading and for code reusability. There are many terms used in inheritance. The first is a class. A class is a group of objects which have common properties. Second is superclass. The existing class is called superclass. Superclass is the class from where a subclass inherits the feature. It is also called a base class or a parent class. Subclass. Subclass is a class which inherits the other class. It is also called a derived class, extended class, or a child class. Reusability. Reusability is a mechanism which facilitates you to reuse the fields and methods of the existing class, where you can create a new class. You can use the same fields and method already defined in the previous. Now, let us see the syntax of Java inheritance. In Java inheritance, the classes can be inherited by extend keyword. A class super can be inherited by a subclass with the extend keywords. The extend keywords indicate that you are making a new class that derives from an existing class. Now, let us see the types of inheritance. First is single level inheritance. Here, only one base class is derived from the parent class. Second one is multi-level inheritance. When a class extends a class which extends another class that is called multi-level inheritance. For example, here class C extends class B and class B extends class A. So this type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. The third one is hierarchical inheritance. Here, more than one classes are derived from a single base class. So, such inheritance is called hierarchical inheritance. The fourth one is multiple inheritance. When a class extends features of more than one parent class is called multiple inheritance. A hybrid inheritance is a combination of more than one types of inheritance. It is a combination of single and hierarchical inheritance. So, now here are the basic concepts of OOPS as discussed. We will discuss another things in my next video.